Hi everyone, I'm Mario, according to one of my devoted fans from the gender cult. This one is called Alice Courtney, who has decided to give me that name, which is very nice and friendly of him because usually they just call me Sir. Here's an example from my dumbest troll ever, Josie, after I'd called her the embodiment of the Dunning-Kruger effect. See, I can dish it out too. Blah, 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 who do suffer from the Dunning-Kruger syndrome, like you, sir. I appreciate the respect. I thought I'd make a very short response to people who pretend that I'm a man so that I can link to it when it happens in future. We'll start with one of the comments my friend Alice posted this morning. You are all blind. The person presenting this video is clearly a man in drag. Just look at his massive chin and forehead. You're all being fooled. David Prince steps up to the crease. Thank you, David. The TRA method of debate. If you cannot win your argument by logic, reasoning and facts, then present insults and shout over them. Alice responds, using gender critical's usual tactics against them, you mean? Seriously though, Mario here is clearly a dude. Look at the size of his hands. Yes, I do have large hands. I'm sure I could have played in goal for England had I only been given the opportunity to play in what, during my childhood, was considered an exclusively male sport. But I wasn't. Obviously, David is right here. They cannot present arguments based on reason and evidence. Alice has not engaged with a single thing I have actually said in any video, so they resort to trying to be insulting. Oh, here's another one. Why is this Maria calling himself a woman? Doesn't look very womanly. Look in the mirror, etc. And no offence, but are you a trans woman? And here's Alice again. Another whirlwind video from Mario. This was in response to one of the ones I did about Rebecca Watson. I wish he'd just admit he's a man and be done with it. He isn't convincing anyone with that manly voice. Well, that's an interesting comment because according to your reasoning, Alice, many women, oh, sorry about the hands, I can barely fit them in the screen, many of those you call women do have manly voices. In fact, I expect you've got one yourself, am I right? But what these guys are failing to grasp is that mistaking me for a man isn't insulting. For a start, there's nothing wrong with being a man. I'm one of those people who believes that every human being is born equal, of equal value, of equal worth. So I'm never going to be hurt by the suggestion that I'm a man, even though it's not true. And I'm sorry that you should feel hurt by being referred to as a man, even though it is true. Secondly, I am not in any way insecure in my womanhood, so I don't need constant validation of it. I have lived a life that only a woman can live. I have been bullied and oppressed as a woman. I have been loved and appreciated as a woman. And I have borne children. So other people's perceptions of me change nothing. They don't matter. We humans have evolved to be able to detect the sex of other people to a high degree of accuracy. And what you're doing when you say to people, oh, look at her, she's obviously a man in drag, is demonstrate that you're just not as evolved as the rest of us, which isn't a good look. In fact, nobody has ever mistaken me for a man in real life, except when I have deliberately tried to disguise myself to look like one. When I was in my late teens, early 20s and living in another country, a place where men were much more openly predatory than they are here, as soon as I would set foot outside the front door, I would have men following me, approaching me, catcalling from their cars. It was really stressful. Occasionally I was reduced to tears by the lewd and disgusting comments, and sometimes I would end up going to a public toilet just to get away from guys and recover my composure. This is obviously not something you will understand. As I've said before, I often find that men who don't have your paraphilia, who don't claim to be women, have more empathy for women, are more in touch with their basic humanity than those of you who do. But that is why I feel strongly about women and girls being able to have their own single-sex public toilets and other spaces. Anyway, so in the winter, while I was living in this place, I would wear a duffel coat with the hood up, jeans, Doc Marten boots, and I would stride along the pavement, hands in pockets and face down, in the hope that guys would think I was male, and it did work, in fact. Now, there could be a particular reason why Alice is in such a petulant mood today. A few weeks ago, he arrived on my channel, and beneath the video I did exposing Katie Montgomery's fallacious reasoning and lack of understanding of basic logic, he posted, "You are a hateful bigot, reported." The irony. I asked him why he'd reported me, and he said, for spouting hate speech against an already marginalised and discriminated against group. You're on the wrong side of history and you won't win. Well, it's obvious to everyone who actually watches my videos that I don't spout hate speech. YouTube agrees, which is why they've rejected all complaints and why my channel is monetized. The videos I can't monetize tend to be the ones that show real hate speech from trans activists. Try, for example, the video I did about the assault on me at Speaker's Corner and the trans activist response. That is hate. That is bloodlust. Now, one more comment that Alice posted today. I think he might have posted this one first before he got the brilliantly original idea of pretending to think I'm a man. And it says, "All you ugly old turfs are just jealous because us hot young trans women are getting all the D." D? D? I wonder what that could stand for. Can't imagine. "And nobody would touch any of you with a barge pole, lol." Well, fortunately, I am happily married, so I don't have to compete in the marketplace with all you hot, young, trans women, but thanks for showing us your authentic self, Alice. Or should that be Alan? Thanks for watching. Bye.